Oh, dear feminine. Hmm. I was just hearing this song. I feel like I've heard it in the ambient areas like stores and stuff before. And I don't feel like I've ever really sat and heard it. It's called I Like Me Better When I'm With You. And as I look around me and I think about where I am, just the karmics with people that I feel like I should know, but I don't. And I thought for maybe a minute that it was because I wasn't trying. And then I realized it's because they don't really want me to know them. And in many ways, they don't know who they are. And that feminine, that brought me back to some conversations we had before separation. And even some things that, okay, I admit it, I spy on you and I watch your social medias and your videos. And I know that you've talked about you just wanted me to find me and not for you, not for anyone. You wanted me to find me for me. And I look at these people around me and I see them caught in between a mixture of feeling like they think that they have to be one way, that they decided some time long ago that they were, which is mostly tough and void of any potential weakness, and then on the other side, giving themselves away entirely to everyone else and feeling victimized for feeling like they give more of themselves than they need to everyone else's problems. And it kills me, feminine, to see my own reflection in that. And it makes me think of half the times that you giggled at me when I complained about how I was being treated or some frustrating situations. And you said, ha, well, that's your karma. Because that's how you were with me, or how you treated me, or how you treated yourself. And I admit, some of those times I heard you and understood, but other times I was just mad. It felt like you were saying I told you so, or that you were making fun of me. And I see now that you weren't. You were trying to give me clues. You were trying not to take away the mystery of the journey, and yet also trying to show me how to embrace the absurdity of it, to recognize that I've manifested this mess, and that I have every choice to stay in it or not, and every choice to decide to be my own man, or to be the man I've been, who constantly feels like he can never be weak and must be some Hollywood societal version of a grumpy, aggressive provider who expects everything around the house to be done and gets mad when he has to participate in it, and then takes on a bunch of people around him that always feel like they're constantly needing this, need to buy that, need to go here, need to help this person, need to do that, need to do this, and not wanting to take accountability. And to be honest, I feel shameful in many ways. Mostly because I see my reflection in it. I see how I have been just like that. And then on the other side, I feel shameful because I jumped before I thought about it. I was, well, it's funny because I feel like it was selfish and I was thinking of myself, but I really wasn't. I was thinking for my family. I wasn't thinking for myself. I was thinking in the ways that I thought others thought that I needed to be. And I was doing what I was told. And just like you said, I've been picking people to be with who would tell me what to do and make the decisions for me so that when things didn't go right, I could say it was their fault because I listened to them. And I was aware of that for a time early on, before things got really dark in my mind. And I thought, you know what, so what? Maybe that's my way. Maybe I'm different. Maybe it's not fear of abandonment. Maybe I just like being around people. Maybe it's not that I'm listening to others and blaming them. Maybe it's just that others make bad choices and I just need to be more vocal. And instead I see, well, to be honest, I see you on your own. You haven't picked anyone to give credit or blame to. And you've been unafraid to own your own stuff. I can recall several arguments with you where I tried old ways of saying, well, you're not perfect, or that's throwing stones, or isn't that the pot calling the kettle? And you looked at me square in the eyes and said, I don't think of myself as perfect at all. What you got, masculine? You want to call me out on something, I'll own it and fix it. And I shut my mouth. In the moment, mostly because I thought it would equal conflict, that you would argue with me, but I know that wasn't really it, because I was envious that you could do that, and I couldn't. And when I'm not with you, I find myself doing that, demanding that anyone who suggests that I need to be the first to correct my behavior before they correct theirs, that I call them on it. You give it to me. What you want me to correct, I'll do it right now. And they don't. They do what I did to you. And I see how cruel that is. To not allow somebody to make up for something you're saying that they did, but won't name, won't list. And then even when they do, it's never enough. There's always something else. And even when you manage to master all of the things that they say that they want you to do, quit drinking, straighten up, make more money, be home more, be alone less, be less grumpy, do all this stuff, there's still something else. And when you finally feel like you're no longer yourself and you just shut up so you don't have to hear any more corrections, then it's what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong, what's wrong? And all you want to say is, I don't feel like I can be myself. If I am not happy all the time, if I am not everything that you want, if I don't give you the money you want, if I don't give you the time you want, if I don't let you violate my consent and touch me all the time and take you out wherever you want to go, if I say a darn thing, if I say I want some time for me, I want to close the door and have the room to myself, I want to talk to my friends, I want to talk to my feminine, I want to go to work in peace, I want to be around my children, I want to be able to go where I want to go without having to answer a million questions, and I want to be able to say no and have it be a complete sentence. But you don't. You don't say that. You just shut up. And you take all the annoyance of the, you okay? You okay? What's wrong? You okay? What's wrong? Until you tune it out. And then it becomes, are you listening to me? Hello? Is there something wrong in there? Is there lights on in the attic? And then it becomes insults. And that becomes more drinking and more smoking and more misery. And you know what's stupid? Sometimes I get mad at you, not because any of this is your fault, but because I recognize that I took for granted being with you and that you showed me and still show me a kind of respect and appreciation and admiration, and you gave me so much freedom, and I was an asshole about it. And now I sit here and I think, this isn't unlike the relationships I had before you. But back then I didn't know any different. I played the games. I created the drama. I fed into the fights. I reflected it. And I could have likely been through 100 of those relationships and never really known how unhappy I really was until I met you and was with you. And now, even in our separation, to see what it's like to be separated from you is such a magnanimous difference to anyone else that I have ever been separated from, or broken up with, or divorced, or anything. Even in pushing me away, you are such a different person. Even in leaving me alone, even in checking in, you are a divine feminine. And I sometimes get mad because I feel like, I never would have known how bad it was had you not shown me how good it could be. But I know that's silly. And so thoughts like these often become texts I mean to send and end up putting in my folder of texts I never sent.